more traditional, old-fashioned conservative, and then on the other, there is the era of Donald Trump, a new wave of populism fueled by the MAGA faithful that has sent the GOP on a sharp turn. Now, if you ask former Vice President Mike Pence, he sees things a little differently. Here's his take on how his ex-boss has shaped the party.
Well, I think President Trump, as president should, has changed aspects of the agenda of the Republican Party. But I don't think he's changed the Republican Party. There is a populist move within the party that says we should marginalize the right to life, that we should embrace big government programs, that we should pull back from our commitments in the world. But I think that's a minority voice.
Joining us at the table is Jeff Duncan. He's Georgia's former lieutenant governor and a contributing columnist to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Jeff, you may be the perfect person to answer this question. Is Mike Pence right that that's a minority view, that Trump is sort of leading this sort of limited faction of the Republican Party right now?
With all due respect, Mike Pence is not correct when he makes that statement. Donald Trump completely controls the entire GOP, and the only example I can give that equates to it is like a rogue cult leader coming into a church and taking it over. He's brainwashed him, and you don't have to look any further than the zombie-esque reaction to even the last few weeks. I mean, Doge has imploded. He's made promises, yet the base doesn't hold him accountable for it. We've spent trillions of dollars in debt that he promised that we wouldn't. We still have wars in Ukraine raging, and he's taken the sides of Vladimir Putin until the last few hours. This is not the Republican Party that I grew up in. And I don't think it's ever coming back. I think it's gone. I think it's gone for good. They're in the ditch, and they just don't know it yet.
How are we in the ditch? We won the national popular vote last November. We won a crushing victory in the Electoral College. We won majorities in the House and the Senate. We just passed the big, beautiful bill. Peace is breaking out in the Middle East. Peace is breaking out on the African continent. Gas prices are lower than they've been in 4 years. Taxes are going to be low. Egg prices are down 69%. The southern border is secure. Jeff, these are things Republicans have believed in for a very long time.
But Scott, I mean, we can't forget that it wasn't that long ago when you were probably closer to the Mike Pence view of this, that you were not necessarily a Trump supporter until fairly recently.
I voted for him 3 times.
Making news here at this table because what I'm pointing to is that your evolution is mirroring something that's happened in the Republican Party in general. January 2024, 40% of GOP leading voters ID'd as MAGA supporters. March 2025, that number is now 71%. So I'm actually not so sure that anything about Trump has changed in the interim. It's really more that people like you have gone from being more aligned with a Mike Pence to being more aligned with Donald Trump. Explain that to us.
It's a good and valid question, but I don't see much disalignment. They have a personality conflict. Pence and Trump obviously had a falling out over a very serious issue. But on conservative orthodox policy stuff, the only real area where Trump has truly changed the party is on tariffs and trade. He believes in tariffs a lot more than any other president has since the early 1900s. And so that is a major difference in the platform. I acknowledge that. But on taxes, on the border, on pro-life, on having a strong military, and even now getting NATO strengthened with the 5%, helping Israel defeat Iran, he's not an isolationist. He is, on many ways, the same as every other Republican president of my lifetime and of your lifetime. There are some differences, but it's not as vast, I think, as you want it to be.
Donald Trump does not remind me of Ronald Reagan. And the Scott Jennings, who was a Republican growing up, working for Mitch McConnell, George Bush, and others, very respectable Republicans, would probably not even shake hands with the Scott Jennings that's sitting here today.
Well, I shook hands with Mitch McConnell this week, so A. B, Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump worked together to change the Supreme Court and give us a 6-3 majority to pass the tax cuts in 2017. Again, personal differences are
Donald
different
Trump
than policy
showed
alignment.
Respect to your former boss, Mitch McConnell?
Do you think he's shown respect to him?
Yeah.
Not always, no.
If we asked you to find one day since his inauguration that he has not lied to you and your family, do you think you could do it? One day he's spoken publicly? Because he can't stop lying, Scott. And I do think the party's changed quite a bit. The Republican Party I grew up with would not delight in beating cops for a lie and then pardoning the people who beat the cops. I don't know what conservatism means anymore. This gentleman is the perfect person to speak to what Mike Pence is going through, because what does it mean? It doesn't mean family values, doesn't mean the Christian values, fiscal responsibility.
Again, we don't live in a theocracy. We live in a nation of laws. And we live in a nation of policy choices. Our policy choices today are basically the same as Republican policy choices, with the exception of tariffs, which I acknowledge. But this president,
I actually,
but this
can I
president
quibble
has
with that?
done
Because
a
you've
lot
said-
of